That was a knockdown, without a doubt. You can't spin it no other way. It's too clear. And I think the commission needs to do something about it because it can give me an incentive, anytime I'm not feeling good in a fight, take a knee.
Baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown.
I'm not going to say honest because I don't know. Honesty had something to do with it. I don't know, but definitely we need better refs that assure themselves, knowing how to make a decision.
Newly leaked footage has reportedly provided undeniable proof that Gervonta Davis cheated in his fight against Lamont Roach on March 1st. The Barclays Center in Brooklyn was the stage for a fight that had the boxing world. Gervonta Davis defended his WBA lightweight title against Roach. However, one moment in the 9th round became the focal point of heated controversy. During it, Gervonta Davis unexpectedly took a knee after a seemingly harmless jab grazed his face.
Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, it was a draw. He take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my...
Under standard boxing rules, this shouldn't have resulted in a mandatory count and been ruled a knockdown. However, the referee allowed the action to continue without intervention, keeping the fight razor close on the scorecards and ultimately leading to a majority draw.
And that's not a shot at Tank. I respect Tank and I like Tank a lot, but you can't do that.
They reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right, to keep the integrity of the sport. So I feel like if you're gonna do to me.
In the days following the fight, questions have continued to swirl, not just about the referee's decision, but Gervonta Davis' actions during that critical moment. Now, newly leaked footage is adding even more fuel to the controversy, sparking claims Gervonta Davis deliberately manipulated events in the ring to gain an unfair advantage.
Knowing how to make a decision, know they're making the right decision, emboldened to make that decision. I think that I don't know that he would have let Roach get away with that. He let Tank Davis get away with. Why? Tank Davis is a star. I think he set a record for the most fans ever in Barclays Stadium. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I believe they hit a new attendance and maybe a gate record. They've done concerts there, they've done fights there, basketball games there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was the record for the gate for a fight for sure. I think the Rolling Stones might be the only one that beat him at the bar.
Newly surfaced footage reportedly captured from an undisclosed source within the broadcast team has reignited controversy surrounding the 9th round of Gervonta Davis' bout against Lamont Roach. This never-before-seen angle presents a fresh perspective on the most debated moment of the fight, prompting deeper scrutiny. Gervonta Davis observers have pointed out several irregularities, particularly in his body language and decision-making in that pivotal round.
The reality is can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't believe they can, the commission. It's really up to the governing body. I mean, the commission can overturn a decision or rule on a decision, but can they order a rematch? That really has to come from the governing body, the WBA, to say, if you want to remain lightweight world champion. But everything I'm hearing is the rematch is going to happen anyway. I think it's pretty much done.
Talk to us about the star power in this May 2nd card.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 3 of the hottest young fighters in terms of that.
The footage appears to Gervonta Davis pausing after Roach's jab grazed his face, almost as if he had anticipated the move rather than reacting instinctively. Unlike a natural defensive maneuver or a sign of Gervonta Davis' movement seems calculated.
I've heard some people saying, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation for me. There was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of...
His deliberate drop to one knee and the way he retreated toward his corner have raised questions among boxing analysts and fans alike. Some argue that his reaction bore similarities to tactics used to buy time or disrupt an opponent's momentum.
Star, he brings people, he's got a big fan base, he brings good pay-per-view numbers. I don't know what the numbers are in this, but you know, he's one of the guys that bring good pay-per-view numbers. I think all of that, he brings that with him. When a referee allows him to take a knee, which is not a rule in boxing, and get away with it, and not make it a 10-8 round. That should have been a 10-8 round. He got hit with a jab just before that. I'm not trying to go after Tank Davis. People already know. Some people say I defend him too much, that I'm saying how great he is. And he is. He's a tremendous, complete fighter. Puncher, fighter, inside, outside. He's patient. He's responsible.
Something rarely seen in a Gervonta Davis caliber. Adding to the intrigue, the leaked footage captures an unusual moment. Gervonta Davis, member of his team, appears to move closer than typical during the exchange, seemingly prepared to intervene. While it's not uncommon for corners to assist in wiping sweat or adjusting a glove between rounds,
Defensively, he's got fast hands, he puts punches together, he goes to the body and that. He's all of that. He can counter punch, he can set traps, all of that. But he was wrong here. He got away with it. But the sport let him get away with it. There's nothing.
the proximity and timing of this particular moment have led to speculation about possible coordination. Some have Gervonta Davis have been anticipating the situation.
That there's a lot wrong with. And there is. And you see it. And we shouldn't keep seeing it. It's got to be stopped. A referee, that is not in the rule book. You get hit with a jab. I know there was a second or two in between. Sometimes you see a delay, knockdown, whatever. The punch didn't hurt him. I understand that. But he got hit a jab, and then a second, 2 seconds later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry. That constitutes a knockdown. Your knee goes down after a punch somewhere around there. That
further fueling theories that his knee drop was more strategic and spontaneous. Many within the boxing community have Gervonta Davis movements comparing them to the instinctive reactions seen in fighters genuinely hurt by a clean shot. When a boxer is stunned or knocked down, their body responds in a manner dictated by survival instincts, often unbalanced, shaky, or visibly disoriented. Gervonta Davis' imprecise movement in the footage appears to contradict this norm. This has led some fans and analysts to claim that what initially looked like an unfortunate mishap, potentially caused by sweat or grease impairing his vision, might have been a calculated act designed to disrupt Roach's growing momentum. Gervonta Davis' team have been quick to dismiss the claims. Across multiple social media platforms and press interviews, they have maintained that his actions were entirely within the rules. Davis defended his sudden knee drop, insisting that it resulted from a momentary lapse in vision due to grease from his freshly done hair dripping into his eyes. This explanation, however, has been met with widespread skepticism from fans and boxing insiders who question its validity, particularly given the timing of the incident. Gervonta Davis was adamant that leaked footage taken out of context could be misleading, arguing that a few seconds of video do not tell the full story of the match. He pointed out that boxing is filled with unpredictable moments, and what may seem calculated could, in reality, be an instinctive decision made in the heat of battle. However, critics have countered this argument by pointing out the precise nature of his movements and the apparent preparedness of his corner, reinforcing suspicions that something was amiss. Gervonta Davis Willis has also come under heavy scrutiny. Willis's decision not to count Davis's knee drop as a knockdown has sparked considerable debate, with many prominent figures in the sport voicing their disagreement. Some argue that by failing to initiate a count, Willis inadvertently shifted the fight's momentum in Davis's favor, allowing him crucial extra seconds to recover. Supporters of Davis's camp, on the other hand, contend that Willis made a fair judgment call under unusual circumstances, emphasizing that referees must make split-second decisions that are not always easy. Gervonta Davis, the New York State Athletic Commission, has upheld the original result, ruling the fight a draw. This decision has left Roach and his team disappointed but unsurprised. Addressing the matter on social media, Roach clarified that he never intended to sue but did have his team file an appeal to ensure the matter was reviewed. "Look, man, I'm going to tell you all straight up, I ain't sue nobody. My team submitted an appeal on my behalf. What does it look like not having a team that doesn't pull the trigger on something they know was wrong? They stood up for me, so all that lawsuit talk, all can put to rest," Roach stated on X, formerly Twitter. He continued, "I'm not surprised by the decision by the NYSAC. A little disappointed, yeah, especially when they acknowledged the fact that Steve made the wrong calls in the 9th round. But I wasn't banking on the overturn. Everyone knows I won the fight, and I'm satisfied with that." Roach's response reflects the frustration felt by many who believe he was denied a rightful victory. For now, the debate rages on, with opinions divided on whether Davis exploited a loophole in the rules or simply reacted as any fighter would in an intense, high-stakes bout. As more analysts dissect the leaked footage, the controversy surrounding the 9th round remains one of the most talked about topics in boxing, leaving fans wondering whether a rematch will be the only way to settle the score definitively.